The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
All right. Deep dive time. And let me tell you, this one's got me pumped. We're tackling Micronesia.
Yeah, I got to admit, when I hear Micronesia, I'm picturing those tiny islands, sprinkled across the Pacific like little jewels. Gorgeous. Absolutely.
Right.
But not exactly top of the travel bucket list, right?
Right.
But our listener this week, way ahead of the curve. They're looking for those under-the-radar gems, the stuff you won't find in any old travel brochure.
I like it.
So we're ditching the brochures, ditching the preconceptions, and getting down to it. What does it actually take to plan an epic Micronesia beach trip? And for that, well, we've got our expert.
Yeah, Micronesia is definitely a place that gets overlooked, but honestly, that's a big part of the appeal. We're talking, over 1,000 islands spread out across this massive stretch of the Pacific. It's not just one place. You've got incredible diversity, not just in the landscapes, but the cultures, the history, even the underwater experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
So, forget your cookie-cutter vacation. Micronesia is about finding your own adventure.
100%. And speaking of adventure, this listener, they're all about those reefs. Everything I've been reading, it's like Micronesia is a diver's paradise, but what makes these reefs so special?
Okay, so picture this. Micronesia, it's smack dab in the middle of what's called the Coral Triangle.
Ooh, okay.
This is it. This is the area of the Pacific with the highest concentration of marine life on planet Earth.
No way.
Yeah. We're talking the most vibrant coral gardens you've ever seen. Teeming with fish you won't find anywhere else. Snorkeling there, it's like an explosion of color. This constant parade of life, like swimming in a kaleidoscope.
Okay, that visual, that's going straight on my vision board. But I got to say, researching for this deep dive, I kept coming across Micronesia's World War II history. And it felt, I don't know, kind of jarring next to these images of pristine beaches.
Yeah, I get that. But the thing is, the two are kind of inseparable, you know?
Yeah.
You see, because of where it is, Micronesia, it became a major, major battleground in World War II.
Wow.
A lot of these islands, as peaceful as they seem now, they saw some really intense fighting.
Wow.
And what's fascinating is how those remnants of the war, they're now part of the landscape. Nature's kind of reclaimed them. Imagine snorkeling over a sunken Japanese plane. Coral reefs, they've made it their own.
Wow.
It's powerful, this testament to nature's resilience, but also this haunting reminder of the history that unfolded there.
Definitely not something you see on a postcard.
Yeah.
So let's get practical. Let's say our listener, they've got time for one incredible island hopping trip within Micronesia.
Yeah.
Where are we sending them, and what's the absolute must-do experience on each island?
Okay. If we're talking about a greatest hits itinerary, we got to start in Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, is fascinating. Okay, so they have this thing called stone money.
Stone
money. So instead of coins or bills, they used and still use, in some cases, these giant carved stone discs.
What?
Giant. Some of them are over 10 feet across. I'm serious. Imagine you're walking through a village and you see these ancient, massive stone discs just casually scattered around.
That's wild.
Talk about a different way of thinking about currency, right? For a place to stay, I'd say go with a locally owned guest house. Really immerse yourself in the Yapese culture.
Okay, love it. So we've had our culture shock. We've gotten our history fix. What's next?
Next, we are hopping over to Palau.
Palau, okay.
This is a diver's dream. We're talking about the Rock Islands. I mean, if you see a picture of Palau, it's probably the Rock Islands. Hundreds of these, mushroom-shaped, jungle-covered islands jutting straight out of the turquoise water.
Oh, wow.
You can kayak between them, explore hidden lagoons. It's like something out of a movie.
Amazing.
And you absolutely cannot go to Palau without experiencing Jellyfish Lake.
Jellyfish Lake. Okay, paint me a picture. What is Jellyfish Lake?
So imagine this. Saltwater lake, completely cut off from the ocean, and it is home to millions, literally millions, of jellyfish.
Oh.
But here's the thing. Over time, they've lost their sting.
What's your way?
So you can swim in this lake, and it's like this shimmering mass of these golden jellyfish just pulsating around you, the sunlight filtering through the water. It's otherworldly.
That sounds incredible.
For accommodations, I'd recommend finding an eco-stay nestled right on the water. Imagine waking up to those views.
Oh, yeah. And I know our listener is big on sustainable travel, so that's definitely going to be a win. Now, we've talked about those amazing reefs. We've touched on the history, but what about the cultural experiences in Micronesia? What can our listener expect there?
See, this is where Micronesia really shines, because each island group, it's got its own distinct traditions, its own dances, its own stories.
Wow.
Like in Yap, you might be lucky enough to catch a traditional dance performance. Imagine the men, they're wearing these colorful skirts and headdresses, and they're enacting these ancient legends, these scenes from daily life, the chanting, the drumming, the movements passed down for generations.
Wow.
It's like a window into a culture that's thousands of years old.
It really drives home the point that Micronesia isn't just about the beaches, right? It's about stepping into a completely different world.
Exactly. And it makes you realize that this beauty above the water, below the water, it's fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're planning this trip, think about how to experience it responsibly.
Oh, for sure.
Support the local businesses, maybe learn a few phrases in the local language, choose eco-conscious places to stay. Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Such a good point to end on. Micronesia.
Yeah.
It's adventure, it's culture, it's a whole lot more than just dots on a map. To our listener and anyone else feeling that adventurous itch, I think this is your sign. Start planning that Micronesia trip.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you all next time.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.